everyone. It's Job. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my desk. I thought that we would just sit down and chill and chat. It's been a really long time since we've talked about planners, journals, systems, and I thought today would be just a fun way to just update you with everything that I've been doing in terms of Job's journal, my creativity, my planners, my journals. And I want to talk about a few big things. So I want to talk about how my planners and journals have changed over the past few months. I guess it's kind of like a little Techo Kaigi update. I will do a full-on, more detailed video about this in the future since we are approaching the midway point of, the year, which is crazy to say out loud. And then I want to touch on the artist way, which I have been working on for the past month. I am on week 4 and I want to discuss how it's been going, and I really want to kind of enable you to try it. And then lastly, I just want to talk about things that I've been interested in. So books, media, YouTube, and lastly, talk about some passion projects that I'm working on. It's kind of related to the artist way, but it's been a while since I've kind of created something just because I wanted to. I love Job's journal and I love creating, but oftentimes when I'm painting or drawing, I'm always thinking like, hey, can this be turned into a printable or a sticker sheet for Patreon, or can I record this and make a video? And so I've been trying to do more things that are just there to fuel my creativity. And I think a large part of that is related to the artist way, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first of all, I want to say thank you for all of the love and support in the Commonplace book video. If you haven't watched it, I left it in the description bar below, but it's my first video essay on this channel, and it was obviously my first time doing it. And one of my biggest regrets was me using like a teleprompter and not really being a little bit more candid with you all. I just needed my video essay script since it was my first time doing it, and I was just reading the essay that I pretty much wrote. So thank you so much for giving it love and exploring the topic of Commonplace books with me. It was a really fun ride. It was 2 weeks of like researching on and off and filming, and I think it was my first time editing something in that style, and I was obviously a little bit more sassy and fun and playful, and I think that's something that I really want to be mindful of in future videos, because this was sort of a passion project. Sorry, there was something caught in my throat. As I was saying, it was kind of like a passion project because it's something that I wanted to do, but I thought, I only create videos about planning and journaling, like no one's gonna watch it. But turns out there's a big intersection, so I'm happy that I did it, and I'm interested to explore that medium in the future for my videos, because it's just a great way to be a little bit more creative. I haven't activated a lot of those muscles in terms of like looking through like peer-reviewed material and news papers and articles about things, and it just felt kind of academic, and I haven't really exercised that part of my brain since when did I go back to do some courses for like post-grad? When was that? Like 2018? So it's been a while. So it feels good to exercise those brain muscles. So let me know what other topics you want me to explore. One thing that I want to look into is generative AI and stationery companies, because there's been a lot of talks about it. I could talk about this at length because I think the art community has already had their fair share of AI related content and like debates about it, but there's definitely some overlap now, because obviously a lot of stationery that we use is created by artists, and now that AI and generative AI is out there, are the artists that are creating our stationery, are they using AI, and is that good? Is that bad? I mean, I think it's not good, but I want to talk and kind of explore that topic more. And also I want to explore like trends, like journaling trends, and then also the rise in kind of like junk journaling has been around, but I feel like it's gone through this kind of rebranding, and I kind of want to explore that because it seems like a hot topic in the community. Anyways, we're not doing that today. I want to talk about my Techo Kaigi a little bit. You might have seen this float up here and there on different parts of the internet in terms of like YouTube or Instagram, but this is my Postal Co. snap pad. It's the newest addition to my Techo Kaigi. I don't really call it a system, but it is like a supplemental, almost notebook, but basically it's just like a clipboard, guys. It's an overpriced clipboard, but it has two of these I guess metal rods where you can keep any 2 hole punched paper. So I'm using the proprietary stenograph paper from Postal Co. And I use this as pretty much just like a scratch pad, where I don't really care how cute or neat things are. It's really just like scratch notes that I use for work. I usually keep this on my desk open like that. And I think the reason why, even though I do use my planner all the time, I think it's just ingrained in me that I need to be a little bit neater in here. I hate that I kind of am like that, but like, I think I can show like my notes. Yeah, like I try to be pretty like neat, and that's not my default. Like I'm a very messy person, and so sometimes I just need like room and space to take notes. I do have lined paper in here, and like I do use it from time to time. Just don't want to show anything that I can't. Yeah, like I have paper like this. This is Doctrine. But I thought I needed something just like bigger and like something that feels kind of like you're just using letter paper, like US letter paper or printer paper. And this is A4 size, but that's pretty much the same dimensions as US letter. So it's very similar. So it feels nice. I like how I can kind of just like scratch notes and like I can show bits and pieces, but like brainstorm stuff for work, figure out dimensions for Photoshop documents, make quick sketches. I've used like some of my dot stickers. I don't know. It's just like really just like information dumping, making sense of stuff. Honestly, you can do this on a sticky note, but I like how I can actually re-punch this so the holes on this don't actually interfere with the holes on the plotter. Like it actually fits like in between, I think. So I can actually punch this and fit it into my A5 plotter, since this is A4. So obviously this is A5 is a half of A4. So like the refills for this are just exactly half. So I can just fold it in and put it in my plotter. If I do need to keep it and bring it with me on the go, and I do have a hole puncher, but once I finish pages, I just kind of like put them in the back, and yeah, this just lives on my desk, usually open like that. I like the green and the red, and I like how subtly holiday vibes it is, but also totally not, because it's a mint and like a deeper red. But yeah, that's kind of like the newest part of my system. It's not a full-on like planner or a journal. It's just a supplement to my planner. And it's been nice using something like this, because as we approach the middle part of the year, I will be moving into a Bible-sized plotter. I do that every year just because I just enjoy having a little bit of leeway with my setup and kind of changing things up as, you know, things change in the middle of the year. And I just want a breath of fresh air, and I do it for work purposes too. Okay, enough about planners. Journals. So my journaling system is pretty much these guys. My regular size traveler's notebook and my passport size traveler's notebook. Gonna be honest, I haven't filled this in since my GINS event for work. So I'm like 2 weeks behind. So at the time of filming this, it's the 31st. So it's 2 weeks, which is perfect because I have a printable template like this guy. It's like a photo a day template. It's on Patreon. It's like a download for the digital tier. And the printable fits 2 weeks on a US letter page. So I deliberately was like, oh, I'm just not going to journal for 2 weeks in here just because I was feeling overwhelmed after gins. After any event, you can tell, like, this was during Little Craft Fest. I didn't journal during those 2 weeks as well. I just need time to, like, decompress and, like, focus on a travel journal. And so I'm just going to input some photos and print out the 2 weeks, and I'll be still caught up by Monday. So that feels good. It does feel like a cop-out, but whatever. And I think I've done a little bit of filling in here. Yeah, like I just have this fun little spread here from Houston. I really like how this turned out, actually. It's very minimal. And then I've been trying to write down the people that I meet at events, because I want to remember people's names, and I can't remember everybody's names, but I think if I slowly write down people's names of the people that I met at these events, if they come back, at least I can, like, look at my notebook. I'm like, yeah, I met you before. And it's super nice. Like, these are like customers that I thought were super like interesting or very cool or thoughtful. Like, I met Alice. She went to the Gins event and she gave me this cool egg print. Oh, I think I have it here. And I'm trying to be better about remembering people's names, but I have this 1-of-1 egg print. Cute. Actually, I don't know if it's 1-of-1, but I think it could be Rizo, or it could be letterpress, or it could be lino. I'm actually not sure. But yeah, this is going well-ish. Well, in a sense that I will be caught up, but kind of bad in terms of, like, my intended daily writing. Like, this was the Gins event. But I'm not too, like, bothered about it, because this is just my reference for when I'm journaling in my regular size traveler's notebook. And it's just nice to have some memories in here, whether it's written or in photos. Okay. And then this guy, going strong, my daily journal. I haven't daily journaled in a while. I think the last entry was the 19th. I call it my daily journal, but it really is like a journal that highlights any fun things that happen throughout my days. So if I choose to make a journal spread in here, it's usually because I have some fun ephemera or it was a particularly interesting day. And I like that idea or approach to journaling, because I can do short form memory keeping in here, but if I want to expand on the moment, I can put it in here. And like yesterday was a particularly fun day. I met my friend Jackie and we went for some ramen. So I actually have some ephemera. I also purchased this. It's such a lovely mug, guys. I have an iced coffee in here. Oh my gosh, the ice is melting. Let me take a sip. Everyone take a sip. Cheers. I'm gonna edit out the slurping noises if it's gross sounding. But this is by the Pottery Studio Hasami, and I've never had a mug like this. It's like it's unglazed, or at least no, it has to be glazed. I don't know, it just feels like unglazed pottery. Like, it feels like it was bisque fired and then that's it. But I'm sure there's some sort of coating on this because you need some sort of glaze inside, or it could be glazed inside. I'm not sure, but it really feels like unglazed pottery. I've known about this brand since, I don't know, like, I think I might have been in university or high school, and I remember it might have been Jen Im that talked about it, and I was like, wow, I want to own a Hasami mug in the future. Dreams come true, y'all. But we started carrying this at work for a traveler's company. It's on our website right now on TRC USA. And I was like, oh, I should just buy it now because it might go out of stock, and coffee table trip promotions usually happen at the beginning of the year. So I'm like, okay, let me just buy the Hasami mug. So I have that ephemera. But yeah, this is going well. Let me give you a little peek of what's in here. I've been using the what is it called? These things, the 365 stickers from Everyday Explorers Co. Been loving it. Oh my gosh, guys, got my ears pierced. If you are part of my personal life, don't tell my family. If you're my family, no, they're not watching this. Okay, let's move on. But yeah, I got my ears pierced. It's probably the biggest thing that has ever happened this year so far. Drawing day with Abby. I watched the Thunderbolts, and yeah, this is the Love and Trip insert. And then my monthly is not going very well. I told myself I am gonna find a holiday, like the next holiday that we have off of work, like what is like a statutory holiday. I will just sit down and do this and just catch up, because it's like partially. January is not filled out at all. March is kind of filled out. April is kind of filled out, and then May is very filled out. Look at that. I'm gonna catch up on this later, perhaps even in this video. But yeah, that's that. And then the last thing, and this segues into the artist way. I've had this for a while, guys. This is my Rotterfaden A5 in natural leather. This is the Baumkuchen collaborative one. I don't think it says, yeah, Rotterfaden X Baumkuchen. And I've had this for almost a year. I think I bought this July 2024, and I used it briefly for maybe a month to get some patina on it, and then I stopped using it because I don't have any A5 journals at all in my Techo Kaigi this year, so it didn't really serve its purpose, and I was okay with that. I'm okay with keeping covers, even though it's not in my current Techo Kaigi or journaling lineup, because I know in the future things might change and I might adopt that into my lineup in the future. And it came in handy. I mean, I have other A5 notebook covers, but this was a good time to use this. If you don't know what a Rotterfaden is a German company. Rotterfaden Taschenbegleiter. That was really a mouthful, but that's the full company name. And the Rotterfaden, whoops, did I get some condensation on it? Is a modular notebook system similar to Traveler's Notebook and Plotter, but instead of using elastics or a ring mechanism, it uses these metal clips to clip on smaller notebooks onto the system. So it is very similar in that you can keep multiple notebooks and use different notebooks for different things. The Rotterfaden usually doesn't have kind of this thing in it. It usually has like this really cool merino wool felt on here that has pockets, but since this is the collaboration one, it's just they went for a more minimalist approach, so it's just like leather, and then you have these paper pockets, and I just have the Rotterfaden postcard in here, and there's a zip pouch in here too. So this one feels like an updated version of the original Rotterfaden. And then I like how this one doesn't have an elastic closure, so it just is easy to open, and this doesn't really travel with me, so I like how it's very just easy, and it's more of like a desk use notebook for me. And I'm using a MD paper notebook, and the reason why I'm added this to my system is that, again, I started the artist way, which is a 12-week course about kind of kickstarting your creativity. I do have to say it is a lot more spiritual than I was expecting it to be, and that's okay. I think it's good to know. I went into this pretty blind. I've attempted the artist way before. I think I just did week 1 and I tapped out, but I'll talk a little bit more about this in a bit. I just want to talk about this notebook so we can finish the Techo Kaigi-ish update. And this is an MD Paper 2025 dated notebook. It says Job's Commonplace, but it is at the Artist's Way notebook. So Story of 2025, and this is actually a monthly and lined paper notebook. So I think this has enough pages for you to use it for the whole year and use kind of one of the 8 sections here for a daily like journaling or planning system. So you can just put the date here and then write your tasks, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little sections. So you can do Monday to Sunday and then use this for notes or like running to-dos or just doodle or do a weekly reflection if you're journaling. But for me, I have disregarded these notes and I actually just I'll just keep my hands. So you're not really supposed to show your morning pages, but I've been using this for morning pages, and you've probably heard of morning pages from many different people. I'll talk about it in a little bit more detail, but it's supposed to be 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing, and you're supposed to write 3 pages the first thing that you wake up. So you can tell that this day I wrote with orange ink 1, 2, 3 pages, and it's continued, and I have been loving this. I've been using the monthly view for just logging what time I've been doing my morning pages and if I didn't do it. So today's the 31st, so I just wrote this here that I actually completed 1 month of morning pages. I only missed 2 days and it was all in 1 week. On the second week, didn't do it on the 14th and the 17th, and that was during the Jin's work pop-up that I had, so that makes sense. And I just didn't do it on the 14th, but I have been liking this system. I kind of have a rough plan of like, okay, I'm gonna read my chapter on Monday or the Sunday before, and then on Saturday I'm gonna do a check-in as to where I'm at with the week. So that has been working out for me. This is gonna be for June, and I will be traveling a little bit, so I actually plotted to maybe just do weeks 5 to 7 next month and then pausing. I really didn't want to pause, but there's work, travel, and I can't control any of that, but it's nice to have this. Or I could just do it while traveling, which would be crazy, but that would be true dedication. So that's how I plan to use the month pages. I'm not going to be able to use all of this because at the rate that I'm writing, and I've been using this for the actual, I'm not even going to show you the actual tasks. So I've been using this as like a workbook as well. Oops. No spirituality and romance. Yeah. So I've been using this for the tasks. But yeah, I've been enjoying this notebook. I fell in love with my Pilot Custom 823 all over again. I actually never finished like an ink fill of this ever before. I've always just prematurely cleaned this pen out to put in new ink, and through the artist way, I've filled this up and cleaned it once already and refilled it, which is crazy. Like, that's amazing. I've been loving this. I've been known to have a very weird grip. I usually grip my pen like this, but with the artist way and with this lined notebook, this has 6mm lined ruled paper, so it's a lot bigger than I'm normally used to writing. And so I've been writing with a more conventional grip and a looser grip, and writing very messily. Like, I can't even reread any of, I mean I can, but it's harder to read. I've been writing as messy as I can, and I've been loving this pen so much, guys. It's so good. It has been the perfect companion. I have sesame oil in this one. That's the Lennon Toolbar ink that I have, and I absolutely love it so much. It is keeping up with the speed that I write with, and part of me is like, do I buy another one? But I'm trying to just enjoy that. Yeah, this is my favorite pen. and it has solidified its top spot in my pen collection. I love it so much. But in terms of other pens that I've been loving, let me just grab them. I just have a million things on my desk, but I really love using... Oh, the suspense is killing me. Sorry, I have a million notebooks here. I've been loving using my Pilot 743. This is the Maruzen exclusive. These two pens are kind of buddies, siblings. They have the same nib, but this just feels heavier because it's a vac filler, and this just has a cartridge converter. But I love it, but I love the weight of this. I'm realizing for when I want to write long form, I want a heavier pen with a thicker body, and this fits the bill right there. And actually write with this unposted. It feels great unposted. And then, yeah, these are basically the 3 pens that I've been writing with. And this is I don't think I've ever shown this on the channel. This is my Pilot Custom 74. This is the 30th anniversary edition. And I bought this on my 30th birthday. So I love it. It actually comes with 3 different bodies. It comes with orange, a teal, and a cornflower blue. I really just bought it with the orange body. I'm not a teal person. The cornflower blue is really pretty, but I really love the orange. I think this pen would have been beautiful with gold hardware, but I ain't mad about it. Why am I talking like that? I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. And this feels, I mean, it's the lightest pen of the bunch, and I don't reach for this as much, but these are kind of my 3 pens that I use for my morning pages. I realize I do like Sailors just for like small writing sessions, but for long writing sessions, nothing beats a Pilot pen. I sometimes write with this guy, but I don't know. I love this pen, but it's not really like a long writing session guy for me. I think maybe if I had like a broader nib, maybe, because this is in a medium fine. And yeah, I think all of these have a medium on them, so they write beautifully. So that's a little pen update and notebook update. I'm probably scheduled to finish this in a month, like in terms of the pages left in here. And yeah, I've been absolutely enjoying this notebook, this setup, and overall just enjoying the artist's way. I realized the camera wasn't filming for like a good 20 minutes, so I apologize, but let's talk about the artist's way. So we talked about the last new addition to my Techo Kaigi, or journaling and planning system. It's this Rotterfaden A5 with a Midori lined notebook and A5. And the only reason why I added this system into my lineup is that I started the Artist's Way, which is a 12-week course designed to kickstart your creativity. Or as Julia Cameron, the author, says, it's a spiritual path to higher creativity. And I've been wanting to tackle this course for the longest time, just because I was skeptical the first time I tried it. I read the first chapter, or the first week chapter, and it just didn't work for me. And at that time, I think I just wasn't ready to receive the knowledge in here. I thought I could, be creative on my own, and that was enough. But I think now that I am a little bit older, I am 30, I am able to kind of work through this with an open mind. So the Artist's Way consists of 12 weekly chapters, and there are, I think, 2 or 3 kind of supplementary chapters interspersed throughout it, like the introduction, the basic principles, and I think there's an outro. But basically, you work through the 12-week course by reading the chapter at the beginning of your week, and at the end of the chapter, there are 10 tasks that you are invited to do throughout the week. And you're not meant to do all the tasks, but you're supposed to be mindful of the ones that you don't do and kind of figure out why you didn't do them. Because it's also part of the course. It's like, well, why did you have resistance over that? And the main kind of premise about the artist's way is that Julia Cameron believes that every person is creative and is an artist, but we have certain beliefs that we believe to be true that keep us from accessing our creativity or our inner artist. And I love that because it suggests that we're all creative. It's just the world and our own beliefs. We've kind of made these assumptions about ourselves that we can't do this, or we're not creative because I can't draw, or I can't do this because I'm not a good writer. And it's all stems back from, our childhood and from our belief systems, what other people have done to us or what we've observed in life. And it takes that approach and kind of helps us acknowledge it, but also move past it and look at those blockages in our creativity and to move past it so we can be creative and be the artists that we wish we could be, and the artists that we know we can be, which is really inspiring. I think the key word in this is spiritual path. That's one thing that when I first read this, or at least the first chapter many years ago, I just wasn't ready to receive that. And I think my biggest not hesitation, but like maybe hesitation, the biggest kind of thing that kind of came up when I was reading through the introductory chapter and the first week is how spiritual this journey is. And if you're not a spiritual person or you're not ready for that, I would check out the beginning chapters of this book to see if it applies to you. They mention God in this intro and the basic tools and like the first week. But when they refer to God, it's not in any strict religious sense. It's kind of like higher being. So, I mean, I guess you gotta have to be a little bit agnostic, but when I think Julia Cameron explains it better, but it's like it's an energy of like the life force. Like just think of the force in Star Wars. It's like this binding energy that keeps the world and the universe together. You can refer to God as the universe, or you can think of it in whatever religious sense that you want to take it, or you can think about it in a more like secular sense too, about like atoms and like the building blocks of life and how all of that kind of comes together to make the world. I don't know how to describe this. I really think you should read it. And I think for me, as someone who, it's kind of weird to be vulnerable about this on the internet, but I haven't really kind of been the most religious or spiritual in a while. I grew up in a very religious household. I hope my family's not watching this. If they are, hello. I think they know that though, but I haven't been the most religious or spiritual, and I think that's okay. But I think reading this has been helpful in kind of looking at spirituality again and kind of accessing that part of my life a little bit more. I still kind of, hesitate a little bit when I read some of these things, but I'm trying to unlearn that, or at least be mindful of it. Like, it's just good to know when we have like little hesitations. And that's one thing that kind of comes up in week one, where you're kind of supposed to be mindful of when your brain is a little bit more like, I don't know about this, like, and kind of work through that. So I feel like I danced around a lot of, the week 1, week 2, week 3 stuff, but overall I'm on week 4. I'm loving it. I feel more creative than ever, and I have realized one of the biggest blockages is that although I do share a lot of my creativity on the internet, I am still very scared to share and be vulnerable with a lot of people about my journey and my creative journey. And I think that's one thing that this is pushing me to do, is to just do things, try things, and share things, because hopefully it'll inspire other people. And I don't know, I'm just a big advocate for like creativity and doing art for fun and not just, for an end product, because that's not the point of being creative and being an artist. It's about the process, right? So, yeah, I would say week 1 and week 2 were the hardest for me because I was having a hard time with the morning pages and the weekly tasks. Basically, you have kind of 3 big things that you need to work on each week. You need to do the daily morning pages of 3 pages of longhand stream of consciousness writing the first thing when you wake up. You have the artist state that you need to do once a week, which is like 2 hours of alone time where you do something that kind of creatively fills your bucket. So anything that makes you feel creative, like going to the movies or going to a museum or taking a little online sketching course or painting for 2 hours with jazz music, like anything you wish that, creatively feeds your soul. And then you have your weekly tasks. I guess 4 things. And the weekly tasks were a hard thing for me because I am supposed to read the chapter at the beginning of the week, but I end up like reading it almost towards the end of the week. So I'm good with the morning pages, but like I'll get to like Wednesday or Thursday and be like, oh shoot, like there's all these tasks that I need to do. And so me being me, I turned the first 4 weeks of tasks and made a cheat sheet. It's for free. You can download it on Patreon for free to anyone. Like, you don't need to be a patron. It's on my Patreon, and I'll leave the link in the description bar. But it just has the task for each week, and I have week 4 printed on purple paper to make it more fun. But I have, it has the morning pages, read the basic principles in the morning, and then all the tasks for the week. So this week I was supposed to take an extended artist date and plan a small vacation for yourself. That's not going to happen this week, but I will do an artist date. So that's one thing I need to note in my notes for myself. And then, yeah, I have this cheat sheet now that I have. So every morning I look at this and then I do my morning pages so I can see, do I have 10 minutes today to list down 5 traits you like in yourself as a child? And I would just, do my morning pages, and maybe after that, spend a few minutes doing that task, and then I'll check it off. So you can see that out of week 3, I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and I started 2 of them, and actually no, I did 3 of them, and then 2 that I kind of like didn't do, and last one I kind of did last week unknowingly. So I like this because I can see my tasks in my morning pages and I have them ready for me. And it's a nice ritual because I will start the week off by making this sheet for myself and for my patrons and for all of you. And it helps me kickstart my week and it helps me keep myself accountable. So this is kind of like my journey. I've been feeling super creative. I think you can tell that the Commonplace book video came about during the start of this and the planning for it. And it's kind of like my first like foray into something new. And I like that I'm able to explore my creativity in new ways because of this like course. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it for the artist way. It's kind of consumed me in a good way. And I hope to continue sharing my journey. I've been doing weekly recaps on my Patreon if you're interested. But if you take anything away from this video, it's that you should do this course or at least check out the first few chapters to see if it's something that works for you. And yeah, if you want to follow along on my journey, I'm kind of posting about it on everywhere like Instagram, YouTube, Patreon. So follow along. And then in terms of passion projects, I've actually been turning these creative affirmations. So you might have seen this. I did a cheat sheet for the basic principles and the creative affirmations. And you can see the first one mentions God. I'm a channel for God's creativity and my work comes to good. I've been turning these all into a mini poster. And I was inspired by a YouTube channel that my good friend Abby C recommended me. His name is Elliot is a Cool Guy, and he's a graphic designer. And there's a lot of similarities between him and I. Like, we both love primary colors, and he's a designer, and I aspire to be as cool as he is and as good as he is as a designer. And so I was like, why don't I just turn all of these little prompts into a little poster? And I, we'll post about this in the future, but that's been my current passion project after the Commonplace video that I've posted on YouTube. But yeah, I think that is it for the artist way. I think the last topic that I want to talk about, I don't know how long this video is, but I want to talk about books and media. So, we were talking about YouTube. So I've been loving Elliot is a Cool Guy on YouTube, and I've been watching a lot of Jordan Teresa, who is a commentary and video essay YouTube channel. I found them through Jack in the Books and Jack Edwards, who is a YouTube creator who makes book content. I've been following both of them for a while, but I've just been rewatching a lot of Jordan Teresa's work because I was working on my own video essay, so that was really fun. And then in terms of books, obviously I've been reading The Artist's Way, but I am halfway through TJ Klune's Under the Whispering Door. My copy is coffee stained. Had a little mishap like a few months ago, and I've started reading this like 2 months ago. It's been a slow game for me, but I've been liking this. This book is a little bit difficult at times, and I think, trigger warning, this talks about death and grief and loss a bit. Actually, no, a lot. And yeah, I like TJ Klune's writing. I really loved House on the Cerulean Sea, and this is giving me the same warm, fuzzy vibes. But yeah, check the trigger warnings for this. I've been reading this physically and listening to it via audiobook. But the crazy thing is, this week on The Artist's Way, week 4, you're not allowed to read anything. So I was gonna mention I've been really into fan fiction. I realized the reason why I haven't been reading and talking about books as much is that I've been kind of ashamed to talk about, I've been reading more fan fiction than actual book fiction, but I love the show 911. It's crazy that I have a picture of the cast on my journal, but I love 911, and I've been reading a lot of fan fiction by them. And yeah, I will link my favorite fan fiction writer. I believe their name is Songbird, and they write the best 911 fan fiction, in my opinion. So that's what I've been reading. But I haven't read anything this week, and I feel crazy because I want to read 911 fan fiction so bad, but here we are, sticking to the Artist's Way journey. And then in terms of shows, I've been loving Andor season 2. I started watching it, I think, earlier this week, and I'm on episode 5. I've been watching it slowly, and then I started Devil's Plan, but I haven't really continued it. I'm on season 2 of Devil's Plan. It's a Korean reality show where it's kind of like an escape room meets like Big Brother meets like challenging brain tasks. It's more on the brain and strategy sort of show instead of like reality and drama. So I like that about it. And Andor is obviously season 2 of the show, and it follows Cassian Andor. So if you've watched Rogue One, he's a main character in Rogue One, and it's the events kind of leading up to Rogue One and Cassian Andor's story. It's been really good, and I think if you are wanting something that is a little bit of political commentary about what's happening around in the world right now, I would watch Andor season 2. And then in terms of music, oh my gosh, so I've been listening to a lot of like R&B on YouTube, like R&B covers, and Joe's I Wanna Know played randomly, and then it kind of sent me on this like, I want to listen to music that I listened to in my childhood. So Joe's I Want to Know is an older R&B song that my sister used to play. So it's kind of like more her generation, but as an annoying younger brother, I love everything that she loved. So I, grew up listening to like, 112, Peaches and Cream, and like Tamia and all of that good R&B. And it's been like a very big formative thing in terms of my music taste. Like, I love R&B. I think I'll always go back to R&B as like the genre that I mainly listen to. And so after listening to that, I went back and was like, I just want to listen to music that I specifically listened to in high school. So, a little bit more current, but it was a lot of like Rihanna, Lady Gaga, and like, I don't know, it was just like one of those random playlists on Spotify. But I've been listening to like 2000s to 2010, 2011 music, and it's it brings me back to high school. So crazy. Oh my gosh. And then like 2014, gosh, it's crazy how that's been 10 years ago at this point. And then I've been listening to two new artists to me. So Eli on TikTok, oh my gosh, such a talented artist. I believe they're a trans artist, and their song Marianne is so good. Somewhere out there we started a family. I am not allowed to think of me so highly, but I'll compare you. It's so good, guys. Listen to it. And I think they go as Eli or Ellie. It's up to you. I think they go in with both pronunciations. So good. It's very like I don't know, like a pop girly sound, like referencing old Britney, but like kind of R&B. And then Q is so good. Q is an artist that I found on Spotify, and Q sounds exactly like Frank Ocean. Like,
you know that I will break my back, cause my lower left side of whack. I think I gotta get that checked. I'm innocent, but my time's come.
If you miss Frank Ocean and you're like, where's the new music? Go listen to Q. It's so good. I love his music. And I don't know, I just feel like very back into my like R&B, new R&B, and like soul, neo soul. And then this summer is gonna be the summer that I listen to more K-Tronada. Okay, I think that's it. I've been listening to what's that like Mariah? Let me just check that Mariah Carey song that K-Tronada remix. Don't Forget About Us. But the K-Tronada remix, so good. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, and obviously Cat's Eye Gnarly. Obviously, we got to talk about that. Yeah, I think that's it. I love you so much. I think we've covered everything. We talked about Commonplace books, my current system, / Techo Kaigi, the artist's way, media, my passion projects. Yeah, it was really good chatting with you all. I know this video is very different from what's been posted on this channel for a while. We've been doing a lot of like vlogs, and obviously we tried something new with the Commonplace book video, but I'm just happy to be posting stuff that I like. I was feeling so bogged down about numbers and like growth, and at this point I'm just like, if I post what I like, I think people will resonate with it. And I'm trying to take that approach because I'm not a neat planner girly. I can't write cute Commonplace book like layouts. Yeah, so I just need to be more authentic to myself and share stuff that I love. And yeah, I'm trying to move forward with that approach to YouTube. So if you're watching this and are not subscribed, I would love it if you subscribe. I look at my views on my analytics, and apparently like 50% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed. So I would love it if you would subscribe. And if you made it to the end of this video, leave oh my gosh, we talked about a lot of things. How about any emoji that you think represents an artist, because we did talk about the artist way a lot. So if that's the painting emoji, the painter emoji, if it's, I don't know, maybe fruits because you do a lot of still life, leave that in the comments below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you. Please take care. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you would like more of these kind of check-in videos. I guess it's kind of like a favorites video almost, but whew, that was a long one. I hope you enjoyed it and have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.